Hey everybody, it's me Stacy here at Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com, and it is time for our next Saturday with Stacy YouTube class number 363. Today we are going to sparkle and we are going to shimmer and we are going to shine. No question about it. Sparkle, shimmer, and shine. In fact, I don't know if the camera's picking it up. I'm already kind of sparkly and shimmery and shiny. and if this is a 4K camera, if it's really good, it'll almost be like it's floating through the air, going through the camera into your craft space, your living room, your wherever, your laptop, your tablet, wherever you are, and you're going to look down at some point and go, how did that get here? The magic of TV. You'll be sparkly and shimmery and shiny when we're all done too. I've got product that I waited for. And I waited for this product. There are earlier versions of it and it's perfectly fine, but I wanted this latest version because I knew it would be more sparkly, more shiny, and more shimmery. So I held off getting the other ones until this came out. I've got product from Creative Expressions for you. I've got the next collection of Simply Defined for you. And I think that there'll be a little something for everybody in this class. We're gonna play away and hopefully show you some tips and tricks that you might not have known, or you knew but you forgot, or you thought were way more difficult than they really are, because they're not. Now, before we get started with that, I want to give a big thank you to all of you who sent anniversary cards and anniversary emails and posted on Facebook and wished Mr. SMS and I a wonderful, happy 25th anniversary. It has been a life, that is for sure. And our anniversary was on September 10th, and on September 13th, he had a year ago, he had surgery, and then his open heart surgery, and then his stroke. And this man had to learn to swallow again. He had to learn to sit up. Forget sitting up. He had to learn how to balance because he kept tipping over. He would just tip over because his left side or his right side of his brain didn't acknowledge that there was a left side of his body. He had to learn to sit, he had to learn to stand, he had to learn to walk, he had to learn how to hold a pencil, he had to learn how to hold a fork. He pretty much started over on a lot of things, and thankfully he is up, he's walking, he's talking. There's still some challenges to overcome, but we are working through them. I am just glad and grateful that he is here. I will take Mr. SMS any way I can get Mr. SMS. Now, if you tell him that, I will deny it. He doesn't need to know how grateful I am to have him. I think he already knows that, but he'll just use it against me. Now, darling, remember when you said how thankful you were to have me any way you could get me? So we'll just keep that between ourselves. But I am blessed to still have him after everything that he went through with that surgery and that stroke. And all of your well wishes were so thoughtful and so kind. And he would read them. Yes, Mr. SMS would read them, which brings me to another subject. My son James, who is working here, Michael is in school right now. He is doing online college and is working on Fridays, coming in on Fridays to help out. But James is here full time right now, and we are a crew of this many people. I mean, literally this many people. And so James is he's learned how to do quality control. He learned how to ship. He's learned how to fill orders. He's slowly making his way around to learn how to do everything. And so he would read all your comments about things you would post, like tell everybody hi, or love the SMS girls, or whatever. So now, and then there was comments about him, just wishing him hello. He wants me to let you know that he appreciates and reads all of your comments on your orders. So if you place an order and leave a comment, there's a place to leave notes on your order. He reads them and appreciates them, and he wanted me to make sure I told you that they did not go unnoticed. My son notices everything. It is part of who he is and why he has an IEP. But they do not go unnoticed and they are appreciated. He has enjoyed them immensely. He even has gotten a few cards. And you've never seen a 19-year-old boy get so excited. I've given him birthday cards his entire life. Do you think I got that kind of excitement? No, but you send him a card and it's like, oh, I mean, he's like a 5-year-old kid again. I brought it up to him. He opened it. Then he ran and wanted to show his father, and then he took it around. He's so cute. He's darling. Sometimes he's 19, and then sometimes he reminds me just of my little boy that he once was. The excitement is still there for him, so that makes my heart happy. Now I've got winter chicken dinner to talk about. If you are curious as to where we are in shipping, I updated on Facebook. And you don't have to be a member of Facebook to go take a look and read it. You can go see where we're at. We're still COVID-19 here in California. We're still at the highest tier for the state of California. And that means we're slowly starting to bring things down, but not quite yet. And we are not reopening our store until I see it more going down. We've created our own little bubble here, like the MBA. There's just a few of us working, and I'm not comfortable bringing people back because I don't know where they've been or what they've been doing or who they've been around. And right now here, the people who are here, the folks who are here are healthy and safe, and I just want to keep it that way. So we appreciate your understanding that we're getting things out just as quickly as we possibly can while maintaining everybody's safety. Safety and health first. That is the one thing you cannot buy. You just can't buy your health back. When it's gone, it's gone. I'm not willing to jeopardize that. So all right, I have got winter chicken dinner to talk about, and then we're going to get started. Lots to do, and I'm going to do a quick overview on die cutting just for people who have never seen it, and then we're going to move into the Creative Expressions product, and hopefully you're like, oh, and I've got a couple different techniques for you to use with it, so if one doesn't work for you, maybe the other one does. I will tell you, it is shiny. It is shimmery. and we're just going to embrace the shine. We are. All right, so our first winter chicken dinner, this is from last week's YouTube on 362, which was using the foils and the glitter with the Deco Foil Duo. It's the new Deco Foil Duos. If you have the old version, it's not going to work what we did last week. You need the new version. And in fact, I'm going to use it one more time today, just because I want you to get the most you can out of whatever you've got. So if I can show you 3 or 4 or 5 different ways to use a single product, well, I'm going to show you 3, 4, or 5 different ways to use the same product. The last 2 YouTubes have had Deco Foil in it, and the Duos, and I'm going to use it again today because I just want you to get the most out of what you spend your money on. I really do. So that was last 362 was on the foils and the glitters with the Doodlers stamps from Aladdin. And we didn't use any heat for anything. We stamped. We learned how to use a stamp with the foil, and it was beautiful. I think you're going to love it once you get all of your product. So our winter chicken dinners who have received a $25 gift card for online store credit. There's 2 of you. There's always 2 of you. We always announce 2. These 2 folks have to do nothing to claim their prize. With any luck, I have already put it in their online account, and if not, during the live chat Saturday morning, I'll be thinking, oh, I forgot to do that. And as I'm talking and we're live chatting, I'll be running over to the to our website and adding their $25 credit in. I hope you both enjoy it. Again, spend it on anything that makes your heart happy, and you don't have to do anything to claim it. How do you get a chance to be a winter chicken dinner? Just hit the subscribe button. Where is it? There's a heart with an SMS somewhere over here. If you put your cursor over it, subscribe will come across. You just click that and subscribe to our channel so I can get to 100,000 subscribers and my children can be, they can finally say, way to go, Mom. And when I get that YouTube plaque, I'm going to put it onto the refrigerator just like I did with their artwork when they were in kindergarten, and they can look at it every time they open the refrigerator. Being that they are 18 and 19 years old, they open the refrigerator a lot. They stand there with the refrigerator. Maybe I shouldn't even put it on the front of the refrigerator. Maybe I should put it when they open it right there, because they will stand there with the refrigerator open. It's like, get what you want and then close the and then it's like, oh, that's my mom. I will say, why are you standing there? Get what you need and then close the refrigerator. And it's just because I hear my mom telling me the same thing. So anyway, okay, winner chicken dinner. How about our first one? Fiona. I know this name. Hello, Fiona Wheatley. Hello, Fiona. How are you today? Is it a Wahoo Kachoo type of day for you? Because if it wasn't, it should be now. Yay for Fiona. Way to go. And then our second winner chicken dinner is Sandy. Sandy Mullenbach. I'm going with Mullenbach. Sandy, is that you? Congratulations, Sandy, because if it was a woo-hoo-hoo kind of day, now it's a woo-hoo-hoo kind of day for both you and Fiona. Now, like I said, you don't have to do anything to claim your prize. I'm just going to put that money in there, spend it, and have a good time. But of course, we have to do the winner chicken dinner dance. So if we're ready, stand up because you won. Don't be sitting down to do this. If you are a winner chicken dinner, if you heard your name, you need to stand up. You're a winner chicken dinner. You're a winner chicken dinner. Wahoo, Kachoo for you. All right, girls, enjoy your winnings. Buy something fabulous, and who knows? Maybe next week. There'll be two more people who get to hear their names and do the winner chicken dinner dance. All right, I am going to get started for today. I'm going to tilt down and away we go. I hope you all have a good time. And again, thank you so much for all of your anniversary postings and comments and cards. Just 25 years, and well, I've known him forever. You already heard that story, but it's definitely a life that has been lived, Michael and I. For all the ups and the downs, we just keep swimming, which is apropos for today's release. Down I go. Bye, everybody. Just keep swimming. All right, let's tilt on in, and let's go on down, and let's straighten out just a hair a bit. How's that? All right. Here is one of our cards. Now, Elena did this one, and the die is a Simply Defined die. She did a beautiful job, didn't she? But she only used part of what comes with this set. There's a whole other part to it, but I love the card. I love what she did. So pretty. And this is paper. She found that paper and cut that to fit. Well done, Elena. And then, let me put this back with Elena. Then I have one from Claire. Ooh. Now, that's not foil. Well, it is foil, but it isn't foil. But can you see all the different colors in there? Ooh, isn't that pretty? That's what we're gonna play with. That's what I waited for, because this is the next version. These are Aurora triple flakes. They've had Aurora double flakes, but these are the triple flakes, and they're beautiful. So this is Claire. So I just want to show you those to get us started. And I think first things first, I am going to show you the triple flakes really quick, just so you can see them. There are, I think, 10 colors. 10 colors. 10 colors of triple flakes. And the reason they call them triple flakes is because there's actually 3 different colors of flakes in the jar. Do not breathe, do not sneeze, do not have your fan going, do not have the air conditioning going. These are gilding flakes. But can you see the 3 colors? Now, normally the gilding flakes are just metallics and they have beautiful blends, but not in colors. Oh my gosh, these are magnificent. And you've got greens and blues and reds and pinks and, right? So originally they came out with the Aurora Flakes in 2 colors. So it would be a green and a blue or a green and a gold. But I held out for the triple flakes because I wanted to have all 3 colors in there. Oh, it's so pretty. So this is the Cosmic Shimmers Aurora Triple Flakes. There are double flakes. And be sure we don't carry the double flakes. We're only carrying the triple flakes because I wanted you to have, the more shimmer, more sparkle, more glittery goodness. Now, if there's an I Want It All, yes, don't worry about that. They're also sold open stock. But I'm going to be playing with the silver brushes. I'm going to be playing with their scrubbers today. And these we have on a special. So if you get the I Want It All, you're also going to get the scrubbers. But that's a later thing. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of my way. Ooh, but I want to keep the 3 that I absolutely want to play with. I want to play with those 3. I know that for sure. And then I want to bring over some of my dies. So I have got a brand new collection of Simply Defined, and it's called On the High Seas, and it is definitely under the sea-ish related. See, this is the frame die that Elena used, but she didn't use the boat or all the little, look at the cute little seahorses and fishies and mermaids. So there are 6 new dies and 1 contour die, which is, I'll show it the last, 6 new dies. And I've got storyboards for all of these. Wait till you see the card Doris made with this die. And it's different waves so that you can build them any way you want. Your waves. Wait till you see what Doris did. Beautiful. And then, I'm going to go ahead and open that up. And then I've got my shell. So these are the 6 dies. They are $13.99 each unless you buy the I Want It All, and the I Want It All gets you all 6 dies, and that makes them $9.99 each. So you get all 6 for $59.99. But then the contour die is this one here, and this will do, it will cut the front of your card. It has no cut line here and no cut line there, so that you can make that the actual front of your card. And then because I had space here, I got some extra little thingies in. But we'll go over that later. Let me pull out, not that one, not that one, maybe that one, not that one, maybe that one. And okay, maybe we'll start with this one. Okay, so for those of you who have never seen die cutting before, I want to do that super fast so that you get an idea for what we're doing. This is what they call a die. It's a piece of metal. It's a chemically etched die. It is wafer thin. There are no blades at all. It's amazing. Let me tilt this. There we go. It's amazing because these little ridges that are on the die is what cuts your paper. And you're like, how is that going to cut paper? Well, you need a machine to make that work. But there's lots of machines that will work. There's a Sizzix Big Shot, a Big Kick, a Vagabond, a Platinum 6, a Platinum 8. There's a a Gemini machine, and I mean, there's just lots of die cutting machines out there. And if you Google it, you will see all sorts of die cutting machines. We generally use a Sizzix Big Shot machine here because it is just that. It's a workhorse. I mean, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. Now, what will this look like when I cut it out? Well, let's cut it. So let me grab my paper. I'm just using basic cardstock, nothing fancy here. This is just 80-pound black cardstock, simply defined cardstock. All right, and I'm gonna bring over my Big Shot machine. And this is what it looks like. So this is a die cutting machine. It has a handle on one side that will allow you to roll your die through and roll it back. And there's a wheel under here that will hit that die and put pressure on it so it will cut. If you don't know anything about die cutting, I highly recommend my do's and don'ts, my 2020 do's and don'ts of the Big Shot family. And I want to say it's YouTube number 255. I think it's YouTube 255, but that will give you a really good overview. So your machine's going to come with two platforms. It's going to come with a base plate and it's going to come with a shim. Because I am working with a wafer die, I'm always going to use these two together. They're always going to be used together when I use a wafer die, and it shows you that on the shim. If I were using something that were not so intricate, do you see how many bits and pieces are in this die? Lots and lots of them. If I was using something that was like an open frame die, I would not need a precision base plate. But simply defined dies are intricate. It's what I do. I love intricate dies. I love getting in there and all the little added just the little added touches. They tend to be more intricate than many other dies. That means you're going to need a precision base plate. It does not come with the machine. It is a separate purchase, but it allows dies that are this intricate to cut and just have the paper kind of fall all the way out. This acts as your bottom plate. You're still going to use your base plate and your shim, but then this is going to act as your bottom plate. Then I take my paper, I put my die with the ridges down against my paper, and then I need one more cup. I need a cup plate. I need to sandwich it. If I try to send it through like this, nothing's going to happen. It's too thin. The die has not hit the roller. There's no pressure there. I need to add something to make it get enough pressure to where when this plate hits that roller, it's going to push down, and that roller is right here in the machine. So I'm going to send this on through. Creaks and cracks are okay. Nope, a few. Oh, there you go, a few more. I am going to just do a quick little rotate. I can just rotate it 90 degrees, 180 degrees. It's whatever makes my heart happy, but I want to rotate it just quick and easy, only because every die cutting machine, whether it be a Big Shot machine or a Vagabond machine or a Gemini machine or a Spellbinders machine, every die cutting machine has a different sweet spot. Whether it be motorized, not motorized, they still have a different sweet spot. And if it didn't cut the first time I sent my die through, sending it back without moving it isn't going to help much because it's hitting the roller in the same way. But if you turn it a little bit, now the die hits the roller in a new way, and you stand a much better chance of getting a perfect clear cut. So I can turn this over, and before I even take my paper out, I can already see whether it's cut or not. I can go through and look to see if I see all those lines. And if I do, then I know I'm good to pull it out. And again, it's only paper. And paper is harder than you give it credit for. When we do our make and takes, I will see people like put their little, and then they're ever so ginger, so careful to just, pull it out so, no, go. It's paper, come on, let's go. It'll come out. Way harder than you give it credit for. And then all my little bits and pieces will start to fall out. And this one's got lots of little bits. Oh, see? On that center. Well, it wants to. On that center, there's a few that need a little help. I wonder if I try that again. Okay, so my center right here has a little trouble. It's not wanting to come all the way out. So I can then put my die back in place. Put my die back in place. Bring my machine over one more time and roll it through. Hopefully I didn't move it, and let's roll it through and see if that makes a difference. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, no problem there. Okay. So, easy peasy mac and cheesy. I just took a basic piece of paper. And now you can see my die cut. You can see the anchor and the shells and the seaweed and the coral coming up. And that is how you die cut. It's not hard. You're using paper. It doesn't have to be intimidating. You just have to play. You do. You just have to play. So if you start die cutting and you've never done it before, go grab a whole bunch of yucky paper, scratch paper, whatever you need, and just start to play until you get comfortable with the sounds of it rolling through and so on and so forth. So that's a basic explanation on how to die cut. Now let's move on. Woohoo ka-choo. Now let's get to the glittery, shimmery, ooh. I think I'm going to start with the easy. But you know what? I think I'm going to cut this one. Should I cut this one too? I'm going to cut this one too first before I do anything else. So this is another one of my dies. And you would think that these are two separate pieces. And they can be if you want them to be, but they don't have to be if you don't want them to be. I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to cut this one out of black too. Grab another piece of black paper. And I'm going to cut this one out of black too. So again, it's an intricate die. I'm going to need to use that precision base plate. You want to make sure that precision base plate is always facing you, the metal portion of it. If you can read the directions on how to use your precision base plate, stop. It's backwards. It's upside down. You need to turn it so that you can always see. If you can read the directions and you put your die and your paper down on top of that and you're going to cut that way, no, I need you to turn it over so that the metal is always facing up. Now I put my die and my my yucky warped cup plate, and I'm gonna send it on through. Can you see that I put my die at a slight angle? I didn't want to put it straight like this because when it hits that roller, it will make a ka-thump sound. It doesn't hurt the die and it doesn't hurt the machine, but it does freak you out just a little bit like you've done something wrong. It's just that you've got a parallel line or a die that's parallel to the roller, and when it's trying to grab it, it goes ka-thump because it's trying to take that whole line at the same time. If you just tweak it a little bit, then it feeds the die in starting up here and gradually feeds down, and you won't hear that ka-thump. So let's get this one cut real quick. Little creaks and cracks are okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna rotate it. And let's see how I did. That's trash. All my little bits and pieces are coming out. In the die world, we call them fallouts. Well, because they fall out. Let's get all my little bits and pieces out. And does that look like it? I got my little crab, oh, my little fishy, my little seahorse. So you would think, and ready? Let's see how close I get to the trash. Yeah, not so close. You would think that this would be cutting two pieces, but it doesn't. It's just a single piece. Now, if you want, you can certainly snip to make it two separate pieces if you wanted to use just an edge or you wanted to separate them further. You can snip. It's only paper. You can snip these into your own. Let's see. We'll snip. Where do we know? We'll snip here. And we'll snip down here. And just kind of cut along. And now I have, maybe I just want to use, maybe I'm doing something bigger. Maybe I want it to be like this. You've got tons of options. Maybe I want it to be like that. Maybe I just want the seahorse on the side of something. Maybe I just want my little crab and my little fish on the side of something. But you can take and separate. You don't have to keep it as a solid die. However, it's very nice as a solid die. So I'm going to put this off to the side because I cut it, but maybe we can use it anyway. And then I'm going to bring over the easiest way to use the next product, which is the Aurora Triple Flakes. Again, don't breathe, don't have your, they're as light as air. They are lighter than confetti. They will last you a lifetime. And in fact, if you and your friends want to go in on an I Want It All set, you will be able to divide this at least in half, possibly in thirds, and have plenty to play with for quite some time. These are compressed in to the jar. the minute you aerate them, you're not going to be able to put them back into the jar. So if you want to get little Tupperwares to dump these into, because the minute you start adding air to it, they fluff up, they get more. It's like they grew. But you need to know if you blow on them, they're gonna go wafting away. They are beautiful, and the colors are, like I said, shimmery and shiny, but not glittery, so to speak. And they dance. And when you use them, they're easy. So the easiest way to use these, and I think I'm just going to do some backgrounds. Let's take this one and let's put that there. And let's take this and just make sure that I've got a piece that's big enough. So I'm just cutting myself a piece of cardstock bigger than my die. And I'm going to take my Stacy tape. And it does not matter if you're using Stacy tape, if you're using Elizabeth Crafts tape, if you're using Scorpal Sukwang tape. Those are the 3 tapes on the market that I am confident in are a quality product. If you are using something from the dollar store, I can't be sure of what you're buying. So Stacy tape comes in everything. This is a 5-inch roll. It comes in everything from literally 1/8 of an inch all the way up to 6 inches. And I think 1/8 of an inch is like, I don't know, is it $2.99 a roll? And there's 85 feet. And I mean, it does everything. It's heat resistant. It's permanent. You can emboss on top of it. It will hold glitter. It will hold beads. It will hold paper. It will hold plastic. It will hold metal. Stacy tape holds just about everything, including a hem in your jeans if you need it in a pinch. Honest to goodness, it does. Husbands will like to find your Stacy tape and take it for their own. You may need to buy an extra roll for the husband and put it in his toolbox so he doesn't come and find yours. The men love it because it just really does hold everything, and because it's heat resistant, you can take a heat tool and emboss on top of it and it will not burn. So they like it because it holds that, it can take the heat. Now I'm going to take a piece, and again, this is 5 inches. It is not the most inexpensive thing in the world, but it is a lot of tape for sure. I'm going to go this way. And it is not something you have to cut. You can tear it. So if you've got issues with your hands or you're using red line tape, this is going to work much better for you. All right, so I'm just going to put it there. Oh, I pulled off way too much. Okay, so I'm going to trim off my excess because that's sticky right now. It's sticky right now. And I don't want to have that extra. Boy, I did cut too much. Holy smokes, artichokes. I was very free with the Stacy tape. So I might save this piece for a little bit later. Let's see if I can put it somewhere. So if I need it, I can get it. All right, so now I've got Stacy tape on one side, cardstock on the other. Easiest way to use flex or gilding foils or anything like that is with Stacy tape. So let's pull over a color that makes my heart happy. And let's pull out the brushes. Okay, these brushes are from Silver Brush, and they are a scrubber is what they're called, and people use them on watercolor when they paint with watercolors and things like that to kind of scrub it in. Or I'm not familiar with fine art, but this is a fine art product. I'm using them today with the flakes because they put it down perfectly and they let me go in and scrub, scrub, scrub and move it around. I need to, you can already see them adhering. I need to take off the liner of my tape. But the minute I do that, it is sticky. It is sticky right now. So you don't want to take that liner off until you're ready to work with this piece of paper. You could make a whole bunch of these and just have them off to the side, and you could come back and as you want to use them, peel them off then. You can pre-make these. As long as you haven't taken the liner off, no problem. Easy to use. You just kind of put them off to the side and wait. But the minute you take that liner off, you must do something with it. Now this liner, do not throw away because you can do something just wonderful with it. Truly you can, absolutely wonderful. And I will do that momentarily. But let's go ahead and get some of this on here. Ooh, it's so pretty. I'm just gonna take my tweezers and I'm gonna kind of put some everywhere. Not too much, less is more. Do not dump a ton of this on your paper. Less is more. In fact, I think that's probably where I'm going to start. I'm going to break this one up. So that's where I'm going to start. I don't have it all over my tape. No, less is more. I'm going to put my lid on because I don't want it to blow away. I'm going to bring over my silver brush. What are they? They call these scrubbers. It's kind of a stempel brush. It's kind of a brush that you would use if you were doing stencils. But I'm using it for this because it works great, and why not? And I'm going to start moving this around. And as I start using my brush, it's like making smaller flakes, which are allowing me to move it around and move it all over. And if I need more, I can add more. So that's where I'm at. Look at that, isn't that so pretty? But if I need more, I can add more. It's just really hard to put it back once you've taken it out. Once you've made it into small little grains, it's really almost impossible to put it back into your little jar here. So it's always better to use less, kind of like when you're cooking. Once you over season, it's really hard to get that seasoning back out again. So you just want to be ginger with it. You can always add. But harder to take away. And I'm moving it all to where I need it to go. Okay, just a hair bit more. Too much. A little bit there. A little bit there. And a little bit there. And that should fill in all of my space. And if I wanted to, I could even turn this upside down because it's sticky. And I could go in and grab what's on my mat and see if any of that sticks. And then just burnish it on in. So pretty. The colors are beautiful. So it's not pow shiny. It can be if you just use your fingers to move it around. It's not pow shiny, but it's got It's got that foiled look to it, but it's triple colors. There's 3 colors in here when you look at it, and it's just beautiful. And then you can take your die and put your die right on top, and now you've got the ocean behind. All done, ready to go. Yum, right? Love that. All ready to go. Trim it down, put it on your card. I could take, maybe I just want it on an edge. Maybe I just want him on the edge. Let's grab the other half. Maybe I want it as a whole piece. Maybe I want to separate them even further. But I've got that background that's got that beautiful foiling, and all I used was Stacy tape. Now, remember I told you about the liner, how important that liner is. That's the piece I peeled off. Let's go ahead and play with that piece for just a minute. I'm gonna put this up there. I'm gonna wipe this off. And I'm gonna put this piece down for just a moment. Okay, so now let's play with the liner for just a minute. The one thing that doesn't stick to the sticky is the liner. I mean, you can take the liner off and it's the one thing that doesn't stick. The minute I put it on paper, the tape sticks, but the liner keeps it from sticking to itself. So what if I die cut the liner? Let's take, what if I do the same one? Just so you have reference. And I bring over my machine, and I've got my precision base plate down, and I'm gonna put the liner, and it doesn't matter which side of the liner you use, they're both exactly the same. And I die cut out. Little creaks and cracks are okay. I'm gonna rotate. Oh, maybe I don't. Oh, nope, no rotation needed. Holy smokes artichokes, that cut through beautifully. Let me put that back there. All my little bits and pieces fall out. So now I've got the exact same die, only using the liner of the Stacy tape. And again, if you've got Elizabeth Craft tape, if you've got Sukwang tape, which would be Scorpal tape, all of those are great brands that I am confident in saying if you've got them, use them. If you're buying from the Dollar Tree or a dollar store, I cannot say that. I don't know. All two-sided tape is definitely not the same. There are many different qualities of it. And our two-sided tape is a high quality tape, as is Elizabeth Crafts and Scorpal's tape. They all make excellent products. All right, so now I've got my liner, which of course you could use as a die just on its own. I mean, I could just use it as its very own die cut, but that's not nearly as much fun. What if we took another piece of white paper and some more Stacy tape, and put that down. Wow, that was a great cut. Look at that. Talk about bringing right on on the size. Okay, so let me pull this over and let me just trim this down a little bit. And I will save this for later. I might use that a little later. Let's even this off on the bottom. Perfect. Okay. So now all I've got is my Stacy tape on my cardstock again. That's all I've done. Same thing. Just like I started when I did this piece. Now I've got my liner here. I can pull off the liner on this piece. I can take my mask, which is what you've made, lay it right on my sticky. And because it doesn't stick to the sticky, if I need to move it, I can. There we go. Oh, it's a little high. I can pull it up and move it. There we go. Now I've got my liner onto my Stacy tape. I'm gonna take the top that I just pulled off and I'm gonna put it on top and I'm gonna press it down. So I make a really good impression. So it adheres to the other, to the Stacy tape. I want that mask to be all the way down. Then I can pull off my top. And now I can use, I'm gonna save that because I might need that at the end. I'm gonna use, we'll use some of these flakes. Ooh, look at that color. Is that rich? Is that beautiful? I'm gonna put it kind of down. Oh, put it kind of down. And then I'm gonna take my brush, my scrubber brush is what they call it, scrubbers. It looks more like a stencil brush to me. And I'm going to work it all over. Put a little bit more in that center. And just move it all around. If I want, I can turn it over, and where they're sticky, it's going to pick up what's on my craft mat. So then I can brush all of that in too and have no waste. All right, I think that's pretty good. See how beautiful that is? But we're not done. Now I'm gonna take a totally contrasting color. Hopefully this pink is contrasty enough. I love the colors, they look so pretty. And I'm gonna pull that mask off. And what's underneath there? Sticky tape, ready for you to do something with. Do you want to throw glitter on top of that? Do you want to throw embossing powder in there and heat it? Do you want to use another of the Cosmic Shimmer Triple Aurora Flakes? What makes your heart happy? It's sticky, so it needs something. It needs glitter, it needs embossing powder, and you heat it. It needs the flakes, it needs little beads, it needs something, because the whole white part is nothing but exposed tape. We hid it by using that mask so it didn't get any of that blue on there. I'm gonna kind of flick out my brush a little bit, and then let's see if we can get and now where it is sticky is where my flakes are going to adhere. See, and this time I used way too much. I could have used a whole lot less. Oh yeah, I used way too much. That kind of makes my heart sad. But less is more. You can always add. And you can save these if you want to get a Tupperware and just have a mishmash pile. Absolutely. But now you can see it's completely flat. There's no raised part at all. And you can see how we could have used glitter or embossing powder or another Aurora flake to fill in all of that space because we saved this. Save your liners, just put them in a bag. You may want to die cut a mermaid or a heart, or who knows what you want to use a mask for. Make your own stencil. There you go. And it is the one thing that will not stick to the tape. And look at how beautiful is that. Or we could have had it we could put the black on top and then have the Aurora flake just slightly off-centered so it looks like a shadow of that. Oh, that looks really good too. You have options. Oh, I love that. All I did was take the black and put it on top of it and then just put it slightly off-center. So it gives a little bit of a shadow of that beautiful pinky gold rosy color underneath. You can do this. This is easy, but this is using Stacy tape. There's no question about it. I definitely would save that and not throw it away. Do you have to use a big piece? It depends upon what you're doing. Remember, I had this piece here. What if I'm doing a card for somebody and all I want is an edge? Let me save that. Maybe all I want is an edge. I don't want a whole bunch of it. I would just want a little touch. It just needs a little something. Well, what if I put that there? And cut that down, and cut that down, and cut that down. So I have that beautiful straight edge. And then I go back to that super pretty pinky color. Expose my tape. A little bit goes a long way. You don't want to cover the whole thing. You need to leave negative space for that foil to fall into. I don't have very much there. Let's see if I've got enough to do it. I got my whole card glittery. All right, now I've got just an edge. What if you wanted to do stripes in different colors? You could take your Stacy tape and just go and literally make stripes. In any width of Stacy tape that you have. And then layer by layer, one by one, row by row, expose the sticky and pull out what color of Aurora Flakes you want to use. You can choose any way you want. They're easy to use. They're not overly glittery. They are light as a feather, I will not lie. Keep your fan off. Don't sneeze. Have a glitter cleanup cloth handy so you can clean your mess. And then have fun. Maybe this one I want this really deep purple. Ooh. It really is beautiful. I think that's probably enough. And there's my next color. And I just keep going until my heart's content. You've got options. Unless you don't have Stacy tape, then what do? Okay, let's talk about that. Because maybe you went and you looked and you saw that a roll of Stacy tape, the wide inch, the 5 or 6 inch, is like $39. And you're going, oh, Stacy, I love you, but you know what? I can't do that right now. That's just too expensive. Does that mean I can't do any of this? No, that's not what it means. No, no, no. In fact, let me clean my mess up one more time. Bring over my cloth and wipe, wipe, wipe. Start again. All right. The last few weeks we've been using the Duo Gel. This is a two-way glue that is strong enough to hold foil. Last week I put it all over my craft mat, and I stamped into it, and then I stamped on paper with it, and I was able to put foil on that paper. And this is strong enough glue to hold it. It's also strong enough glue to hold these flakes without any problem. So if I took a piece of white paper, and it's almost big enough. Oh, it's by the hair of my chinny chin big enough. You know what? It's only paper. I'm going to cut a piece that I know is going to fit. That I'm sure will fit. So a piece of white paper and my duo. This is different than the original duo. We all need to know that. This is the new duo. It can be used with or without heat. If yours does not say without, no heat, I don't know if it's getting in there, zooming in there or not. If it says no heat, you're good. If it doesn't say that, if it doesn't say anything about not using heat, then it's the older, and that will not, it won't work for what we're going to do. This is their new formula, and it's more of a paste than it is a gel. You can see we've been using it like crazy. It's more of a paste than it is a gel. There, that bottle's a little fuller. And use it with foils, use it with glitter, use it with just about everything. Because if you don't have Stacy tape to just roll out a piece and lay it down, because this is $37, I don't know what this is. It's the Stacy tape starts, I want to say, at $2.99 and goes all the way up in price. You can still do it with this. All you've got to do is put it on your paper in a nice thin coat. Not heavy at all. We want to keep the coat pretty thin. You can do it with a palette brush. You can do it with a credit card. What do you have to get this glue on this paper in a thin coat? We don't want it too heavy. So I think that's kind of thin. You can see the gloss on it, and then it has to go tacky. You have to let it go tacky. It has to get sticky. It's a two-way glue, and the point of a two-way glue is that when it dries, it has still the availability to put glitter on it or to put foil on it, and it will stick to it. Most glues, obviously, when they dry clear, well, they're dry and you can't stick anything to it at all. If I were to take this piece of paper and fold it in half and stick it to each other, it would be just a regular adhesive. But if I let this glue, and you can see the glue starting to go tacky because I'll start to lose a little bit of my gloss. It will start to fade away. And I know that it is moving to a tacky. So you can set this aside for a few minutes and die cut. I'm going to clean up my little mess here with a baby wipe. I am using baby wipes that I was sent baby wipes. Thank you so much, because I vowed not to buy baby wipes until baby wipes were available for moms with babies. They were on such a short ration, it was ridiculous. I vowed to not use baby wipes. So I was sent some baby wipes, and those are the baby wipes I am using. Bless your pea picking heart. I'm going to close up my duo. And I think I will take and die cut out of black one more time. I'm going to die cut this one. Ooh, no. I could put Stacy tape on top of this and then die cut this out and foil that too. Something to think about. We may get there. Let's see. Bring over my machine. Die with the ridges face down, paper down against my precision base plate because this is an intricate die. Send it on through. Ooh, okay, send it on through. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna pull it out. Put this off to the side. All my little bits and pieces. All come out. This one I'm not going to cut and separate, but I do think that while I'm waiting for that to go tacky, and since I don't know how to edit and just magically come back and it's all tacky and ready to go, I am going to cut one more die, and I'm going to cut that shell. Ooh, these are down good. I'm going to cut that shell. So I've got this one here that I can play with still. And I'm going to cut that shell out of my black paper. And look at there, perfect fit, easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Put this one on my gotcha. Check and see how I'm doing here. Oh yeah. So let it waft. I'm going to cut this one and then we're going to try with that and see if it's dry enough. This one kind of slide on an angle because I've got that straight edge there. Send it on through. And ooh, it came out. Don't know that I need to cut it again. Let's take it over and see what happens. Well, how's that for a happy day? Doesn't that just make you smile when that happens when you're working and they all just fall out like nothing? Do you remember the days when we used to have to just like almost take a fussy scissor to get some of these out? Okay, so now I've got my shell to work with too. So now I've got two. Let's bring this over and let's use, ooh, what do we think of this? I know it's not very beachy, but it's really pretty. Get my tweezers. Ooh, is that gorgeous? And same thing, I'm just gonna put some on. And hopefully we're dry enough. Time will tell. Use a credit card to get it down. Whatever you need. All right, I'm gonna get a little flick of this to get some of the purpley off. And then come in. So if you don't have Stacy tape, but you want to do a whole background, this is going to last you, again, a really long time. It's a huge value for the money you're spending because there's so many different ways to use that product. Could you use your Essentials glue pad? Yes, you could, but I'm going to tell you, the price for the refill is you get such a little amount that you don't want to waste it on this. This paste, this Duo's gel is far more cost effective than pulling out, if you want to do an entire background, pulling out your Essentials glue pad and using that glue. It's such a small, I know I have one here. It's such a small little, that's all you get is this amount. There's none on here. This is all you get for your $10. Use this for when you want to stamp. This is the glue when you want to stamp and add the foil or add the glitter. But if you want to do a whole background, this is what you want. Far more cost effective and works beautifully. If you're stamping and you want to put some foil or some glitter down, you put it on here, ink up your stamp, and then go. But don't use it to do this. You'll go through way too much of it. And being that both of those products are about the same price, you'll get your bang for your buck out of the Duo. Wow, that color is beautiful. Let me turn it around, see if I can pick up any. So I was able to do the same thing with the Duos as I was able to do with Stacy tape. Same thing. You're not stuck just because you can't get Stacy tape or Elsa's tape or Scrapbook. You can still do this, and you can do it cost effectively, because then I can take and look at how beautiful my shell looks on there. Right? So pretty. So pretty. You have options when you're doing this. You have options. And then I personally, if I wanted to now die cut this, I would make my background first and then I would die cut. So maybe I want my shell to be glittered. Ooh-wee doggy, Mr. SMS, your floor is going to just sparkle and shine. Okay, so I've taken just basic paper. I took my deco foil. I let it get tacky. I put my Aurora Flakes, my triple Aurora Flakes on the top. Now let's take and let's die cut. bring my machine back over. Oh, slight angle, otherwise I'm gonna, well, let's make it see, let's see if we can hear a ka-thump. That way you know what I'm talking about. Oh, there. Well, like right on cue, huh? And then wait. Ugh. I know that sounds horrible. It didn't hurt the machine and it didn't hurt the die. It might hurt your ears a little bit. And then I want to go ahead and do a rotate. And go. And let's see what we got. Hopefully it wasn't still too wet. Oh, that looks good. You can see all the cuts, right? So maybe you want to make, you don't want it to be a background, you want the actual die to be foiled. I would absolutely, without question, do the background and then die cut, as opposed to try and die cut your shell and then get that foil on there. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. I know it's my design and I shouldn't say that, but it doesn't matter. I believe it. Oh, and I'm out of black paper. How is that possible, Stacy? Really? Really? Oh. Oh. I'm out of black paper, Stacy. Do they all have somebody on the back of them? Yep, I can't use theirs. Ooh. Right? So now I've die cut with the foils. And I didn't use Stacy tape. I'm still just using the deco foil. Transfer gel duo. Use two-way, heat or no heat. Remember, if you have it, if it does not say no heat, it will not work. It does not do this. But looky, ooh, is that gorgeous? I mean, it really is very pretty. I don't know if you can see it on camera or not, but it definitely makes my heart happy. Uh-huh. You've got this. And then how do I put it all together? Well, that's easy too. I can take, oh, let's take this one. So this is the one that I did with the mask where I was able to get the two together. And again, you didn't have to use foils on the, when you lifted the mask. I could have put glitter or embossing powder, whatever made my heart happy. But I've got this one here. And I do like the idea of just keeping it slightly off. Just so that foil, that pink foil, adds just a very slight shadow to it, making it all pop even more. How am I gonna put that down? I'm just gonna grab sticky dots. You're like, really? Sticky dots will hold to that foil? Yes, sticky dots will hold to that foil. It will, I promise. What are sticky dots? They're my micro sticky dots. There's hundreds of thousands of little dots on here. I forgot my, I forgot my washi tape. But you can put washi tape on either side and it'll just help open it easier. Sticky dots have hundreds of thousands of little micro dots. One side has nothing, this side has adhesive. Take your most intricate dies. Put it on your sticky dot. Close it up. Give it a rub. What you're doing is you're transferring those dies from the sheet onto your die cut. Never try to glue down an intricate die again. Pull it up, and every place it touched is now going to have adhesive on the back. It's like a Xyron without the goobers. Bring it on over, and now line it up where you want it to be. And if you don't love it exactly where you put it, you've got time to pick it up and pull it down and put it back. Under the Sea. I did not sing it, so there's no copyright infringement. This is Under the Sea. Done with sticky dots. My paper is adhered. No problem. I could take this one and sticky dot. Down. Good rub. Pull it up. I don't know which way you want it. So pretty. But there's one last thing for me to show you super quick. So far we've used the triple flakes and we've die cut. We have used Stacy tape to make backgrounds. We have used Deco Transfer Gel Duo to make backgrounds. We have adhered with Stacy tape. We've used a mask so that you can get more than one color by using the liner from the tape. A lot going on here, but there's still one more thing left to be done. So pretty. One more thing left to be done. Well, there's probably more than one more thing, but I only have time for one more thing. What if I took this and rolled it through an embossing folder? So this is from my Time and Tides collection years ago. We have a few of these left and it's an actual wave cresting. What if I took this and put this and decided to emboss it? Bring over my machine. This time I'm doing an embossing folder. I do not need my precision base plate at all. I don't need my thin die adapter. If you look at the base plate that comes with your machine, you will see that it shows you, oh, embossing folders. Here it is. What do I need to do? Oh, I need to sandwich it between two plates. Well, here's plate number 1 that we've been using. And here's plate number 2. Doesn't matter what color you've got 2 of them, you're good to go, and your machine just happens to come with 2 clear plates. Then I send it on through, and that embossing folder is adding that detail. It's adding that detail. Now I can go in and take a look at my take a look at my folder, take a look at my embossed image, grab my scissors because this is sun and sky up here with clouds. So maybe I do hand on the table. So if you're fussy cutting, put your elbows on the table. Put your elbows on the table. You turn the paper. When you cut, you turn the paper, not your scissors. You turn the paper. I'm turning my paper. I'm not moving my scissors. And if you put your elbows on the table, it tends to help you keep your scissors in place. You need to turn your paper. If you want to know how people are able to fussy cut so beautifully and so fast and so easy, they are turning their paper, not their scissors. So now I've got that cresting wave coming over. Which I can put down here. I can do a beautiful sunrise, sunset up there. I've got the cutest little, tiniest little mermaids ever in this one. Look how cute the little mermaids are that I could have sitting on the beach. And the foil, the Aurora Flakes, they emboss beautifully with an embossing folder. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. There's just not a whole heck of a lot you can't do with them. And if you've got old yucky paper, then use your old yucky paper, because the minute you put the flakes on top, you're gonna hide everything that's underneath. They're never gonna know that perhaps this was the yuckiest shade of brown you've ever seen underneath. That's gonna be taped down. Use your scraps, use your bits. And let yourself have the opportunity to play. Because you really just can't go wrong. I want more black paper, but I used it all. It's not often I don't bring over enough paper. But the dies are just darling. Okay, we did an awful lot. We really did do an awful lot today. Awful lot. And I've got a lot to show you. Look at my poor hands. Those are happy hands, right? Happy hands. Let me kind of clean up my mess over here. Is that really even possible? And that way I can bring over some of the product and show you what's for sale before I get to the samples, because the samples are gorgeous. The girls always do an amazing job. They never disappoint. And they're always so concerned that you're not going to like them. And I tell them every time, they like me. They like my classes. They love your samples. Oh, do you think I have time to peel this one up? Ooh. Oh, just by a hair. Okay, what if I put this? Okay. This is why they end up being 4 hours long, because I've got this one left. So what if I turn this over and open this up and put this down, and we'll put this one down again just because I took off some of the sticky, peeling it back up. Put this down, and then anywhere you don't see any paper, those sticky dots stay there. So you can use these again and again and again. One sheet really goes a really long way. But since I had this one cut, right? What if I put it, and I wanted black paper, but I was out of black paper. I mean, I could get up and go get some, but You see it's sticky on the back side. What if I put this there? And then I put this just a little bit off. And then I made a shadow for my for my shell. Now I've got the black acting as a shadow for my shell by just doing a double cut, cutting twice and just slightly askew. Ooh, okay, I need to get back to what I was working on. I digressed there. All right, so what's for sale? Well, we've got the 10 colors of the triple flakes. They're on an I Want It All. You can buy one, you can buy all 10, but if you buy all 10, you also get the set of the brushes that I was using, and they last forever. All you gotta do is kind of give them a little flick, and you're good to go again. You can wash them, yes, absolutely. I knew you were gonna ask that. And if you're stenciling, yes, they work great for stenciling. So, I Want It All gets you all 10 colors plus the brushes for free. And these, I think, retail for $9.99 something. Or you can just buy the colors that make your heart happy, and then we'll have this on sale. We'll have a few of these on sale, open stock, if you just want the brushes. That way you don't feel like you gotta get the flakes if you really don't want them. You gotta love what you do. Then I've got for you, here are the colors of the flakes. These are all 10 colors that we made samples of. And when I say we, I mean Elena. Bless her pea pickin' heart. She put the storyboards together. She always does. Today I used Enchanted Forest. I used Icy Lagoon. I used Amber Glow. I used Passion Pop. I used Rainbow Sherbet. So I used quite a few of them, but they're so pretty. And there's 3 different colors in each jar that makes up the blend. Okay, then we have my dies. So this is the beach, the wave cresting, and it's part of an older collection. I'll put what's available from Time and Tides, because that's the only other beach collection or sea collection that I've done. We'll add those into this YouTube Yummy, and just know that the Time and Tides collection is the older collection, and the On the High Seas is the newer collection. And I want to say that this is on sale for $1.99. It was $3.99. So for $1.99, you get yourself a really nice embossing folder. But then the dies for this month are push that out of my way. Okay, so we've got the contour die. This is not included in the I Want It All. It's not included. This is a separate die. It's $15.99, and you get 2 different card edges. You will see samples done several different ways. So you can use it just as a die, and here are the 2. So you've got the mermaid scales and you've got the fishnet, but then you've got it as part of your, it made the front of your card. So it is part of the actual card. You can use it as a straight die, or you can use it as a card front, because it doesn't have a card edge, because it doesn't have a cutting line right here. We just cut this. Here we cut this. but it doesn't have a cutting line, so it doesn't cut out, it cuts in. Mermaid scales and the fishnet. And then of course you get the few little, I had space. I had space, so I used it. Then we have the next two. This one I was using today with my anchor. And then I have my actual mermaid. And here's the anchor that I was playing with. And these are all the pieces that it comes with. So bubbles and some shells. I used that one all day today. And then here's my mermaid. So this is going to cut in, and then you get a frame to back it so that you are able to cut in or cut out. Well, I think it cuts in both of them, but you've got a frame that will back this. So you can lay her right on there and have a perfect frame. And it has a few little extra pieces if you wanted to add extra little stars or seagull. She's so pretty, I think. She's not a cutesy mermaid. She's more grown-up mermaid. And Elena did this one to show you. Oh yeah, here we go. So it does. It's a cut in. Or you use the rectangle die that comes with it to cut the whole piece out. But you have options. What do you think? Love her. Well, I love my anchor too. And then I have, again, another one that I was using today here. And on the first card I showed you, Elena, was it Elena? Yeah, Elena had used this frame die where you have the sea on the top and the seaweed on the bottom. And then you get all these cute little mermaids and the tiniest little fish and a boat. Now that boat can either be up on top sailing, or you can make it a sunken treasure boat down here. This boat was designed to fit either on top, or it was designed to fit at the bottom if you wanted to make it a sunken treasure, which would be darling for a little boy. Super cute card with a sunken treasure down here. And then you can take some of the fish and have them swimming around. So really cute and useful. You can use just the frame die. You can use just the boat die. You can use just the mermaid and the fish, or you can use them all together. And then again, the die that I was using today, where you can keep it solid, and this is how it cuts, or you can snip it to separate them, whichever works best for you. And then I used the shell die today. And then I've got my ocean waves, which is made up of pieces. So these are all the pieces you get from my ocean waves. Wait till you see the card Doris made using these. They don't look like much now, but when you build your waves, you can decide where the peaks hit. How much of a wave do you want? The card she made was beautiful. So I used the shell today, and wait till you see what she did here. All right. And then of course the deco foil. We'll keep the deco foil on sale for one more week, because now you've got 3 totally different ways to use the same product if you watch this YouTube and the 2 previous. So let's get to samples, because samples are beautiful. Let's start with Elena. So I already showed you Elena's I Love You card, where, like I said, she just used the frame with the reed, the seaweed, and the waves on the top. She just used the waves. She didn't use the ship or the mermaids or the little fish. Then Elena used the mermaid scales. She put 2 of them together to get this done. There's that contour die. And she cut it twice to get that background. Very cool. And then you've got her, oh, gosh, Elena, this is so pretty. The ocean is calling. And she used embossing powder to do this background. Remember when we did the ombre embossing powders? Uh-huh. And here is Elena's mermaid. And here she's using the shimmer paper that we carry. So Elena's mermaid. And the dye I was using today. So pretty. So I cut this one once and I left it whole on one. Here it is on whole. Elena did a great job. And my seashell. Again, using shimmer paper and the dye and paper, piecing it back in. So this is Elena, who also did the storyboard here and the storyboards for all of the dyes. Well, it's now an SMS YouTube, isn't it? Then, okay, and also this is Elena. Let me pull the, well, I'm gonna save those two for the last. Let's go to Claire, because I'll need to zoom out for those. I already showed you this one with Claire. And here she just used it on the edge here. Whereas Elena put two of them together to get the whole look, to get a whole background. Elena used two. And Claire used one. And then we have Claire's anchor under the sea. And she's got her little mermaid swimming and the shells and the anchor and the little fish. And then Claire's mermaid. All the foils. These are the Aurora Flakes. That whole background was with Aurora Flakes. And here, this is done with the duos. And she kind of just went, psh. This was an accident. And then when it was all done, she's like, oh, I love it. And she's got her little mermaid swimming and little fish going around. But this background was done with the duo gel. And it was an oopsie, but it came out fab. Then again with the Aurora Flakes for the whole card. So this is an Aurora. She must have matted or put a mask over it using the liner like I did, so she could add her color here and then add her color here and then add her different colors here. You can do this. And here's her little ship sailing. And she's added a little alcohol ink, it looks like. Oh, and her seashell card. I love the color, Claire. It's beautiful. Just beautiful. This is Claire. And then we have, let me move these over. So I think that these are Belinda. Let me grab Belinda. And Belinda's got the mermaids and an octopus. She fussy cut that octopus, bless her pea picking heart. And she's got the mermaid scales. And she used the seaweed from the bottom of the frame that had the waves across the top. And here is Belinda's seashell with the mermaid right in the middle. a little fish. This is Belinda. And then I love Belinda's dollar store frame. This is just a dollar store frame that she encrusted. Look at that, encrusted. And then put the mermaid in the center. Well done, Belinda. And then last but not least, we have Doris. Look, it's so pretty. And coming up is the card with the waves. The sentiment says, life can be tough, but my darling, so are you. And then look at how she made the waves and she built them up, and she's got peaks where she wants them and she's got them cresting where she wants them. You have all of those pieces to build those waves any way you want. And it's part of the I Want. I mean, it's $13.99 for the die, but $9.99 with the I Want It All. So that's a great card, great card. And here, oh, she's got the ship that sunk. Blue skies above. Then you've got the ship that sunk and a little mermaid down there. Reaching for the shell. Very cute. And then here, look at this. Oh my gosh. This is with the flakes. Look at that background. That background's gorgeous. Beautiful job. This is beautiful. What a great guy card. So these dies can be used for girls and guys. They can be used for any age. Oh, here she had fun alcohol inking. This is Doris. And again, she used the two dies together, the net and the scales. And you've got the flakes on this one. Oh, so pretty. So this is Doris. And then Doris's mermaid. What do you think? She didn't have any of the fallouts come out. She kept her solid. She kept all of those little pieces in there to make her a solid. And this is Doris. Oh, and then Doris did what I did. She shadowed her seashell. She really had fun with her alcohol inks. She was in that alcohol ink mode. Very, very oceanesque, Doris. But do you see, she shadowed her seashell with the gold. And then I'm gonna show this one. Claire did this one. Apparently this is a bottle of Patron. But she's she dripped all the ink down, and then she came in with the dyes and just made a darling little centerpiece. And at first I thought it was Elena because it has lights. I said, oh, Elena, I love that. And Claire said, no. Actually, Elena said, no, that's Claire. And I said, but it has twinkle lights. So Claire did this one. Wait for it. Elena did this one. I don't even know if I can get a good image of it. All the dies are in there. She's got this darling diorama. I have no idea where she picked up this little... I have no idea where she picked this up, but everything's in there. So cute. With the blue lights, that was her husband Rudy's idea, to make it look like... She's like, how am I going to make it look underwater? And he said, well, we'll get blue lights this time. Well done, Rudy. And then the last thing I have to show is a layout. Oh my gosh, this class was so long. And Elena did the layout. Ooh, Elena. There are I just love the waves because you have options with them. So this is a layout by Elena. All right, you guys. I don't know what's going to happen when I have to actually go back to work and have a in-store make and take, because I'm not going to be able to do 2-hour YouTubes, and some of you are going to be going, yay! And some of you are going, no, we're happy with the 2-hour YouTubes. We'll just have to wait and see what happens, because I don't know when we're going to reopen the store. I really don't. It's just going to have to wait until things are better for everybody's sake. Now, where do you find all of these products? Products? You can find them at scrapbookingmadesimple.com. Simply to find are my exclusive dies. This is the only place you can find them unless you happen to go to AliExpress or Alibaba. And then you will find that they have knocked off my dies, just like they have knocked off Memory Box and Sizzix and My Favorite Things and Lawn Fawn. So if you want the real thing by the person who actually designed them, buy from the manufacturer who made them. Try to limit your Allied Express and Alibaba shopping because everything there for them, it's probably somebody else's design first. So you can shop for Simply Defined with me. You may be able to get the transfer gel at your local store. If you can, absolutely. You may be able to get double-sided tape at your local craft store if you've still got one. Really try to stick to Scorpel, Elizabeth Crafts, or mine. Those are the 3 that I am confident in. The Aurora Flakes, we've got that special on them. They're all on sale, and then you get the free brushes to go with it if you do the I Want It All. And remember, my dies are always value priced. They're $13.99 if you buy them individually, but if you buy the I Want It All set, it brings them down to $9.99. And the one die that has the mermaid scales and the fishing net is not included in the I Want It All bundle. All right, it's me, Stacy, Scrapbooking Made Simple, scrapbookingmadesimple.com. I will see you all next week. All right, have a good week, everybody. Thank you for hanging with me. Bye, everybody. Toodles. Thank you, girls, SMS girls. Bye.